And there it is, you mother fathers. For like the 25% of you that like college football, let's get this shit going. I said I'm 5 for 7 on the YouTube video at cash. I'm actually 4.8 out of 7. If you're wondering how you can be 4.8, one time I was literally like half of my lineups cash and half didn't. So you just count that as a 0.5, basically a break even. And the other time I had a 0.3 cash, so like 33% of them cash. So I lost a little bit that day. And then I had 1-0, and then all the other times I've basically had 100% across the board. Honestly, what I'm kind of realizing is my bread and butter at college football and what I feel most comfortable with, I like to just do a cash lineup and just go spam the shit out of it. I play tons of head-to-heads. I play a lot. I play every double up I can get into, especially the bigger ones. That's what I like to do. 50-50s, double ups, head-to-heads. That's what I do. I don't even, I like making some GPP lineups, but my GPP lineups, I play them like this. I play them like you need that one game to go off, and I just haven't targeted that right game yet, right? So, I'll probably, throw 20 into $15 tomorrow or something, but like that's not where I'm putting the vast majority. I want to be a winner at college football for this season, and right now I'm definitely up, so I want to keep that going. And what you do that is building around attacking the right games and playing cash game. And trust me, I'm one of those people that fucking hates cash game. I'm an all or nothing mother father. I like to go for the big wins and try to hit those big wins. But now that I'm trying to be more sustainable with my bankroll, not just for me personally, but so that I can help like teach and give these tools to other people, I need to live what I'm teaching, right? And so that's what I've been doing. And I've the biggest place I've incorporated it is at Showdown for golf and for college football. So, without further ado, let's get going. I have our sheet colored here as always. For all of you that may be new to this, these purple games right here, see how some of these games are highlighted in purple? Those are games to target. Those are really good games if you want to really stack 5, 6 guys from a single game. These are great games. Why? A, because they have a high total. That's a must. B, they have competitive lines, right? We're not talking 28-point favorites. But C, talked about this on YouTube, is that you need games where you know who's going to score the points. It doesn't matter if you have guys on the team that score 42 points if you don't have any of the fuckers that score. So we need games where we know who's going to score. So I really like this Duke KU game. I feel like neither of these teams have great defenses, so if the offenses come out, this could be a track meet tomorrow. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying it's a game that I'm willing to target. TCU and SMU is another one. Look at that total, man. Nice competitive total. 70-point total with a nice competitive score. Both fast-moving offenses. I think you'd be silly if you didn't at least build a couple stacks around that game. That's my opinion. Other games, and by the way, I'm mainly going to be talking DK here, okay? I'm just going to go over the DK. All the shit's down there for FanDuel if you're a FanDuel guy, but I'm just telling you, it's a softer game over on DK. That's where I have most of my fun, so that's where I'm going to play. But I got this stuff on there. I got the FanDuel slate down here. There's just not the extra 4 games that don't cross over between FanDuel and DraftKings. They're just not very good games. None of them are games I would target. None of them. Ohio State's too big of a favorite. A&M, Arkansas seems like a slog. OU, Kansas State, I think is going to play slower. And then I don't think BC can push Florida State. So I don't like any of the FanDuel exclusive only games. That's why none of them got colored. The other game I really like is this Florida-Tennessee. This is probably my favorite game. I would imagine probably half of my stacks will be built around this game. I could be completely wrong, but I think Florida, that Richardson guy, is a star, and I think he can single-handedly score some points. And we've already seen that Tennessee. Let me get some Perrier real quick. Yeah, I cheated on Topo Chico tonight with Perrier. Don't tell my sponsors. Okay, I think that Richardson's a star. I also don't think Florida is 10 points worse than Tennessee, and we already have seen Tennessee has an electric offense this year. So you get Florida to run out there, score 31, 35, maybe get lucky 38 points or something like that. Tennessee's got to score 42, right? You got to think they're going to win this game, and that equals a lot of points. Not to mention, those guys are very fairly priced over on DraftKings. So that's just a super stackable game. I don't tell you guys who to play, and honestly, don't fucking play who I play. I have not hit a big GPP all year. I've been killing college football cash game. But at GPPs, what are we in? Through 4 weeks so far, I'm probably down at least 50% at GPPs. I just haven't hit anything big, right? A lot of solid lineups, but at college football, you got to hit the fucking nuts. So following my GPP picks, maybe not that play. Maybe I'm playing too aggressive at GPPs. That's what I do. And if I do 20 lineups tomorrow, I'm thinking at least 10 of them are going to start with Hooker and Richardson. Okay, Hooker at the quarterback, Richardson at the super flex. Pair him up with a couple receivers, run it back with a couple running backs from another game, and just hope it's fucking shootout city. Although I will tell you, Richardson and Hooker can both get there with their legs, so you do have to be aware that maybe they can't get 2 wide receivers there. So be aware of that. A lot of these games I'm just avoiding like the plague. I might play some Brock. Actually, I'll definitely play Brock. It's just too cheap of a price for how much of a workload he gets. But like this Iowa State Baylor game, it has no chance. I don't want really any part of it in GPPs. I think Clemson has a very legit defense, and they're going to humble Wake Forest. And I also think this DJ Ukulele kind of sucks. So I'm not going to be playing an offense in Clemson that has a quarterback I think sucks. We've already seen Maryland always gets fucking boat raced against legitimate defenses, and I think we all know Michigan has a legitimate defense. Penn State with the biggest total on the board. I just can't get there, man. They just spread the wealth. They got the 3 receivers that all get tons of targets. They got the 2 running backs that get a ton. All those guys seem like really good cash plays. Like they all seem like they have 20-point floors. But let me tell you, you're like, well, then why don't you have a marked cash games? Good question, dude. Here's why. I view cash game at college football specifically differently than most people. I think you need to have a high floor, but I also think you need a high ceiling. And I just don't think those Penn State guys have a high enough ceiling in a game that's going to be competitive. Furthermore, the one piece that I would feel most comfortable with Clifford, because, he's the quarterback, the guy that has the fucking ball in his hand every play, he's 8,300. Like, there's no way in God's green earth I would ever play Clifford and cash over fucking Hendon Hooker. Not a chance in fucking hell. Clifford, he can't run like Hooker. It's not going to be a fast-paced game, and it's not going to be competitive. So, because of that, I just couldn't put him as cash. He probably is very safe to get 22, 24 points minimum tomorrow. I just don't see any way he gets 35. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it, and I'm making the fucking list, and I don't want to put him as cash, motherfather. This Texas and Texas Tech game is my favorite sneaky shootout game. Maybe I have Big 12 bias. I live here in Big 12 country, and I've just seen it too many times where Texas Tech gets into these shootouts, and then Texas, everybody thinks they has a good defense, and you realize they fucking don't, and it turns into a shootout. I could be wrong. Fucking Texas held, Alabama to 20 points. But, man, I have a sneaking suspicion. Texas runs the ball down their throat. Give me a Bijan Robinson and then bring it back with a Smith, Bradley Price stack. It could get there. I'm just saying it could get there. What are the chances it gets there? Maybe 10%. Maybe 10%. And here's the worst part. That means only 1 in 10 chance my stack gets there. And then even if it gets there, I still have to have the right parts. That's why winning GPPs is so fucking hard. This Notre Dame UNC game, I personally don't like it, but you'd be a fool not to acknowledge that it has a pretty decent total. Both teams are right around 4 touchdowns apiece. Furthermore, it is one of the tightest price games. And furthermore, almost all the stars in this game are really reasonably priced. Both quarterbacks, I think, are underpriced on DraftKings. Mayer, the big stud tight end, is definitely underpriced. If UNC is going to keep feeding that 5-star Hampton, he's way fucking underpriced. I just don't believe in it. Minnesota, Michigan State, I think it's going to be a slog. Ibrahim, he's a fucking animal, but at 9,600 against a good defense, I can't do it. I can't do it. I will say he's high upside, but he legit needs to get you 35 points to pay off that price tag. This one, maybe I should have marked this game as sneaky here, because if Indiana can find a way to score 28 points, this game could shoot out, because you got to figure, Cincinnati's a 16.5-point favorite, so they're saying they are definitely the better team. But Indiana has the fastest pace. Look at this. This quarterback's running 81 plays a game. Get the fuck out of here. And 51 of that. That's through 3 games. He's averaging 51 passes a game through 3 games. That's a lot of fucking chances at points right there. This Camper guy is, look at this. He's averaging 14.3 targets a game. Are you shitting me? He could be inefficient as fuck and still get you 7 catches for 103 yards and a touchdown. He can have a terrible game and still smash if he's going to keep getting 14 targets. And then this last one, a sneaky shootout, Oregon versus Washington State. I actually am kind of high on Washington State. I know weird shit happens out in Pullman, Washington, and their guys, for the usage they get, specifically Watson and Ollie and Stribling, those guys are all really low price versus the amount of usage they get. I wouldn't even mind a Ward Watson Ollie stack or a Ward Watson Stribling stack. I could see a lot of ways it gets there. Running back with Knicks, you've got all the fucking money. Running back with Knicks and Franklin, you got all the money in the world for your last 3 spots to go put whoever the fuck you want in there. And if this game blows out and you go pick the 3 one-offs that are fucking studs, this could be a GPP winner. Arkansas A&M reeks of slog city to me. TOSU is going to shut down slow-ass Wisconsin. This game's going to be like 31-7. It's going to be boring as fuck. No one gets there. My opinion. I will say, anytime you're talking about TOSU with that electric of an offense, you'd be a fool not to acknowledge that those guys all have tremendous upside. Kansas State has some real stars, but, I mean, I think I told you this last week, guys. I think OU plays real defense now, and I was fucking right last week, wasn't I? And I think that they're going to do it again. I think the whole K-State's a 21 or less, and you just can't pay those price tags on for guys that are going to be on a team that only scores 21 points. And then this Boston College Florida State game, I mean, I really like Travis a lot from Florida State if you're playing FanDuel, but fuck, maybe pair him with Wilson, but I don't like it that much, brother. All right, let's get to cash, because I know that's what most of you are here for. I'll just start with this. I think the cornerstone of your cash lineup, you've got to have Bijan Robinson tomorrow. He's probably the most he's a Texas player, so you already fucking know I hate him. But goddamn, you got to respect the man. And Bijan Robinson is probably the most electric player in college football. He is playing for a team that is actually way better than I thought they were. And he is a usage monster. He gets it done through the air. He gets it done on the ground. He finds the end zone. He's as safe as a play at 8,300 you could have. If he was 9,500, I would still play him. So the fact that I get him at 8,300 on a team where he's a usage monster with a banged-up quarterback, outside of him getting hurt tomorrow, I don't see any way he doesn't deliver 25 points. I will be building all of my cash lineups, all of them. I'm going to make fucking one of them and just put it in everything. But he will be in at 100%. Other guys I'm really looking at, if you're going to spend up at running back, 8,300 ain't cheap, brother. You only get, 6,200 per player, right? Big guy's parched tonight. I apologize. Look at that. Giuseppe's, that's from Stillwater, by the way, for all of you who don't know. That's like Eskimo Joe's breakoff brand. Okay, some other guys I'm really looking to target in cash. This Ashford from Auburn, he's only starting because their other quarterback's hurt. 5,000 for a starting quarterback is really hard to pass up, especially with a 29-point total. But I will say, you got to think that Auburn's probably going to run the ball a lot, which actually, if I had to choose somebody from this game, I think Tank Bigsby is kind of a usage monster in a favorable game script at home. I think he's somebody you really need to consider at running back to run along with Bijan. You go over here, another one I really like at cash, it's just a naked Daniels, right, from Kansas. I don't want to pair him with anybody. He gets so much done with his leg, and he doesn't have really concentrated usage in his pass receivers. So I will probably run Daniels as my quarterback or my super flex, because if they're going to score 35 points, if they, that's their implied total is actually 36. If they score 36 points, I don't see a chance in hell he doesn't get at least 25 points with an upside of 35 to 40. He's the heartbeat of their team. And apparently Kansas went from the worst team in the country to like decent. I don't know what the fuck happened, but it's a thing. This TCU SMU game, if you want to get a piece of it, you really got to look at this Rice guy here from SMU. I know it's funny he's named Rice, but he plays at SMU. Ba-da-da! That's a Southwest joke. Okay. That's a university down there. You didn't fucking know that, did you? They're both in Texas, you ignorant asshole. Okay, so Rice averages, look at this, 15 targets a game for a team that's going to score 35 points and a quarterback who throws the ball 44 times a game. I know he's 8,600, but if you have the money to put him in there, that's about as safe as you get. When you get 15 targets, you're almost guaranteed 20 points at college football. Almost guaranteed it. In a fast-paced game, you've got to be checking out this game. By the way, the more I think about it, maybe I should consider putting Degen over here. Maybe I should put him, you know what? Why do I not have him as cash is the question. Something about it initially made me not want to put him as cash. Is that the right green? I think I'm going to put him as cash. Just at 7,100, he runs the ball. Okay, I'll put him as cash, but he's like a fringe cash / upside player, okay? This Mordecai guy for SMU, big-time upside. You really got to check out Brock from Iowa State. He's playing about 75% of the snaps. He gets tons of run plays, and he's also getting almost 4 targets a game. You got to consider that for cash at 4,900. If you need a little bit of a salary break, Brock could be your play. Yes, that's not a huge total, but if there's one guy I'll play from a team with a low team total, it's a running back. My dude Hutchinson, Xavier Hutchinson, he is a target monster, averaging 13 targets a game. He is a true specimen. 6,700 and a low total I don't love, but man, if he's going to get 13 targets, I don't see any way he doesn't pay off 6,700. By the way, I'm not just going to give you 8 fucking cash plays and say, there you go. I'm going to give you some options. You make your own fucking decisions, Bob. All right. Richardson, I think Richardson at 6,800 is very cash viable. I just worry about his floor. There is a script where Tennessee blows out Florida. I don't think it's going to happen, but at the same time, I'd rather just pay the 1,300 for the stability of Hooker. I love a good stable Hooker. So, so I will be playing Hooker. I can't imagine a way I don't play Hooker in my cash lineups. I'll just find the money somewhere, right? We already talked about Bijan. I will say Worthy is not bad. 8 targets a game and a big team total. The good thing about Texas receivers, we don't know what Ewer's injury is, but their receivers are fucking usage monsters. Those two guys basically run every play on the field. There's just Worthy and Whittingham's out there every play. Let's see. Other ones, other cash options. You want to know the truth? Dude, there wasn't a lot of cash options I love this week. So if you think I'm only giving you a few, to me, to be a cash option, I've already said it once, is you got to have a high floor and a high ceiling. And there wasn't a lot of people checking those boxes. Indiana only has a 21-point total, which I don't like. But Jesus, Camper at 6,300 is still averaging 14 targets a game. I mean, shit, they throw the ball 51 times a game. I guess they got to throw it to somebody, right? So Camper is still underpriced. If you got 6,300 left, I worry about his ceiling because they only have a 21-point total, but Jesus, he seems like he has like a 15-point floor if he's really going to keep getting 15 targets a game. I'm fully aware that most of these cash guys I've given you are probably a little on the steep side on price. So if you need a punt in your cash lineup, which you should really never punt in a cash lineup, but like you got to check out Ollie and Watson for Washington State. They have a 25-point total. They're at home, and if you look at their usage, like check out Ollie. He's 3,500, right? But he plays 49 plays a game, and their quarterback only plays 61. So right there, he's already playing 80% of the plays he's on the field. Then they throw the ball 40 times a game, and he is running routes 34 times a game. So that means 85% of the time he's running routes. And then here's the most important one. Of those 40 targets, or those 40 passes a game, he's averaging 9 targets a game. I mean, for 3,500, bro. I mean, what does he need? 6 catches for 60 yards, and he's fine, right? So, plus they're probably going to be in a script or they're going to be behind. The other guy is Watson. I've actually made him a cash play before, and he didn't smash, but he didn't fucking shit the bed either. This game being at home, 4,600 for a starting running back that, as you can see, total plays, he's on the field for about 75% of the plays. He's out there for about 65% of the pass plays. He runs the ball on average 12 times a game, and he averages about 2 targets a game. I'm just saying, like, there's worse guys to fucking punt with than Watson. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying go play both. Matter of fact, I would definitely not play both those guys in your cash lineup. But if you need a good spot to try to get a little salary relief, I would check out those 2 dudes. That's the 2 guys I would look at. If they fucking shit the bed, you know what? You picked them. I didn't. I just suggested them. If you're playing over on FanDuel, hey, what the fuck's wrong with you? I'm kidding. I just don't like FanDuel's cash game near as much. There's just not as many people over there. When there's not as many people, it's not gonna be a soft. Okay, so really the only player I would add from FanDuel that isn't a cash play from DraftKings is Travis. Travis at 9,000 seems pretty safe to pay that off with a 33-point total. He's actually looked pretty decent this year. He runs the ball. He passes the ball. So those are my cash plays. I'm going to be playing probably 80% cash. I'll probably do, I don't know, $800 in cash, probably $200 and GPPs or something like that, right? It's just, I just want to be a winner. And I feel like right now I feel very confident in my cash making abilities, right? Whereas I haven't really hit shit at GPPs this year. And it's largely just because I really aggressively stack games and I just haven't hit the nuts game yet. In my defense, it's not like I'm missing the nuts game. There just really hasn't been that nuts game that goes 63 to 59 yet, right? There just hasn't been that game. As soon as it hits, hopefully I'll have a bunch of mother fathers in it. So, things I would take away from this, target the right games. Okay, if you're going to play GPPs, it's all about targeting games. if it's cash, you want guys that have high floors but also have high ceilings in competitive, high-scoring games. That's what you want. That's what we're after here, right? You're looking for value, okay? Part of the reason Ashford, I don't like Ashford, okay? But at 5,000, it's just so easy. If he just gets you 19 points, he's what? 3.8x, right? Like, that's incredible value. You can't pass up on that. You'd be a fool to ignore that. And as a starting quarterback for a team that's going to get 29 points, according to Vegas odds, it's very likely that I would say at least 50% of the time he'll get you 19 points. And I would say at least 75% of the time he gets you 15 points, which is still 3x. So it's something to consider. Now, does he have 30-point upside? I don't think there's a chance in hell. I think I'd rather spend up and get my Daniels, get my hookers, because you know I love some good hookers. That's probably where I'm going to be spending. But at some point, you got to ask yourself the question. You can't just fucking spend up everywhere, white bread. So fucking, because you got to spend down somewhere. So I'll have to do the math. I wanted to put this video out for you as soon as possible. It is 8:10 in the Lord's time zone. I appreciate your guys' support. It sucks that more people don't like college football, but I guess it's good because like the 12 of us that play this shit, hopefully you guys are winning at college football so far this year like I am. If you're not, I'd have to say it's probably because you're playing too much GPPs. That would be my assessment because I feel like my cash picks have been really good. I spend a lot of time thinking about them. You can see I don't whore out. I think I literally only selected maybe 11 or 12 guys for cash. So it's not like there's a ton of fucking things that you have to consider if you're completely trusting my cash plays. I do encourage you, if you see somebody that's high upside, that I would say that makes them viable for cash, right? A high upside guy can play cash. You just got to be aware when you go play Reese from Baylor at $3,000. Yes, he has a huge upside, but he could also get you 0 fucking points. The reason I make them high upside and not cash is because a high upside guy could get you 0 or he could get you 6x. Whereas I'm telling you with a cash guy, I feel like he at minimum is going to get you 2x, but could also get you 5x. You know what I'm saying? So he has that nice high floor and that nice high ceiling, whereas the high upside guys are like fucking home run guys or shit the bed guys. So, you know, if you're feeling saucy with Mordecai, go ahead and throw him in at cash. I don't think that's that bad of a play. But at some point, you're going to have to save money somewhere. And I'm telling you, look at me, you motherfather. You're probably going to want Bijan in your lineup. I will say, he really does start to change. If you want him and 2 expensive quarterbacks, you're going to have to punt at probably 2 spots. And I'm telling you, don't double punt with Washington State. Don't double punt with Washington State. That's too risky. That's not how you do a cash lineup. 1 punt is okay because I think that both those guys could probably, at worst case scenario, get you 8 to 10 points where that's not great, but it also doesn't kill you if 6 of your other guys smash, right? That's what I'll tell you. All right, I got to get off here. Me and John Galt got to go make the NFL video. It won't be out till tomorrow, even though we're making it tonight, you motherfather. Actually, yeah, that's the YouTube video. I don't know when we're going to make the fucking Discord video. Should probably know this shit, shouldn't I? By the way, I got a fancy schedule coming out. It'll be 1 for the Discord, 1 for all my non-Discord members for YouTube. So be looking out for that. I got him writing it up now because so many of you are like, when does this come out? When does that come out? I get it. There's a lot of content. Trust me, I fucking know I make it. And I'd like you guys to know when it comes out so you know you can go get it. I appreciate all your guys' support. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you feel like all this is worth it. I worked my ass off for you. Good luck tomorrow, you motherfathers. Kick some ass.